One of my favorite things way back when I was a kid is, having one of my closest friends over, and it was a sleepover when, I was kids. It's always a fun time. I'm sure you did it as well. But is that still a thing? I mean, it was all about video games, snacks, and very little sleep. So for a guide to summer sleepovers in the modern day, or perhaps lack thereof, we turn to parenting pundit Julie Cole.
Well, like anything with parenting, it's kind of like you got to do what works for your family. But the old summer slumber party, it's a lot of fun and you have a lot of good memories of it. But a lot of research shows that they aren't that safe. And so it is fair if parents have a no slumber party policy. We do know the thing is when you send your kid to somebody else's house, you're sending them to a household where you don't necessarily know the rules. You don't know who's going to be in the house. Are there older siblings? Are there older cousins? So parents do worry about their children's sexual safety, and they should. This is something you need to be aware of: who is in that house, what's the supervision like. So along with their physical safety, the times have changed, Jason, since us, because we didn't have phones. Now what can happen at sleepovers is people will get on Snapchat, people do live videos. You might be getting changed, you might be doing something private or you think is private, and somebody could be streaming it at the party, or they could be reaching out to people saying, oh, we're having a slumber party and you're not. So the phones have been a game changer with the slumber party and add another element of sort of safety, danger, things that parents want to think about. The other concern too is sort of the mental stuff that goes with it. Is your child emotionally ready? And if they do have some like underlying mental health stuff, this can be a little bit triggering. If they're homesick or if they're a little bit clingy or they haven't been had a lot of time away from parents, and we're seeing this a little bit with that sort of COVID generation, then there can be an emotional piece to this to the slumber party. I was that mom who I never liked going to slumber parties myself. I was that kid who was like, no, thank you. I like my own home. I like my own family. I like my own bed. I never want to go. And I have a kid who was constantly like, I had to do the pickup. She'd want to go. And then as soon as I got the call, and you might want to actually have a safety word if you have a tween, say, or a teen, you have a safety word, or you always just let them off the hook if they call and be like, pizza. And then you call them and say, look, I need you to come home. Grandpa's not feeling well. So you have a little bit of a code that saves them from an awkward situation there. So you want to put that in place. And then the other thing that bothered me about sleepovers with my kids was, which is why I didn't really do it, is this sleep deprivation. I mean, they were bears the next day, Jason. It wasn't worth it for me. If they had to go to dance practice or hockey, like they were just exhausted. And I just felt like if it was a Saturday night, their Sunday was wrecked, and then they started the week off all wrong. So honestly, they're a lot of fun. They're not my personal cup of tea. I just think with parents, you need to make sure that if you don't want to do it, if you don't want to allow it, that's okay. But communicate it honestly with your kids and explain to them why you fear the risks. And there are alternatives. Your kids aren't going to be socially deprived if they don't do a slumber party. A recent trend is the sleep under, and that's everybody comes over early. They get picked up at like 10 or 11 o'clock. So they do all the slumber party fun, come in their PJs, watch movie, have popcorn. I would say no phones, no gadgets. That's just me, just to lower the risk of that live streaming stuff that can happen. But you know what? If everybody does a sleep under, that works too. You got to do what works for you. But if you are going to send your kids, make sure you know that family, you know who's in the house and who's supervising.